Boys must protect themselves when going out at night, as they might encounter strange things. What seemed like a walking mattress was really a mattress fairy, as Noh Ki-joon discovered when it approached him. As the fairy was about to fall, he tried to help, but ended up being pulled down onto the mattress. Coincidentally, a sheet from above fell, covering them both. They struggled under the sheet, but were mistaken by passers-by for having an affair and reported to the police. The police were puzzled by their urgency. Noh Ki-joon insisted he didn't know the woman and was pulled onto the mattress by her. Meanwhile, Kang Han-deul was just trying to dispose of the mattress, but ended up being pinned down on the road. The police were confused by their conflicting stories. Noh Ki-joon, who thought his explanation was more convincing, suddenly realized he had seen Kang Han-deul before. Days earlier, he had seen her standing motionless in a supermarket, crying. He chose to leave quietly after seeing her distress. It turned out she had just gone through a painful divorce. Her ex-husband left her with a house still under mortgage, in her name, taking everything, even the toilet. He even reminded her to send the toilet seat screws to him for his new installation. Disheartened by her failed marriage, Kang Han-deul felt abandoned, like a child left on a deserted island. Deciding to discard everything from her past, she started a new life. This was how Noh Ki-joon first encountered the mattress fairy. Seeing the same woman cry twice, Noh Ki-joon couldn't bear it and offered an apology, hoping for reconciliation. They agreed to part amicably and hoped never to meet again. Noh Ki-joon faced a severe challenge. As an actuary, he hadn't brought profits to his team in a long time. His team leader's face loomed in his office window. Passionate about creating new products, Noh Ki-joon saw almost every project result in losses. As a result, his team had dwindled to just him and his team leader within 6 months. They risked unemployment if they couldn't develop a new insurance product. While brainstorming, Noh Ki-joon met with old friends to discuss identifying current pain points, finding inspiration in personal experiences. During the gathering, An Jong-man asked about the reasons behind Noh Ki-joon's divorces. Noh Ki-joon, who had 3 ex-wives due to incompatible views, answered vaguely yet directly. And Jong-man could only agree and support him. This sparked an innovative idea: divorce insurance. Noh Ki-joon, having experienced divorce himself, wanted to ensure happiness for couples post-divorce. The next morning, he excitedly presented the divorce insurance plan to his team leader, asking him to imagine a divorce scenario. Unexpectedly, the team leader looked sad because he had just received a divorce call from his wife, making him feel the impact of divorce firsthand. Fearing eviction and high alimony costs, the leader snapped to attention. Noh Ki-joon quickly explained that divorce is a real disaster. They could calculate insurance rates based on rational and irrational factors and include them in coverage. Convinced, the team leader asked to immediately form a special team to revitalize their efforts. Noh Ki-joon decided to start a major recruitment drive. Surprisingly, the first interviewee was Kang Han-deul, the mattress fairy he had met the night before. She not only met the recruitment criteria as a divorcee, but also had professional insurance underwriting experience. Despite their past unpleasant encounters, Noh Ki-joon valued talent and decided to extend an olive branch. Kang Han-deul's friend, Ya-young, was also hired. Ya-young, a claims adjuster, is the only team member who has never been divorced because she strongly opposes marriage. Initially, Noh Ki-joon thought she didn't meet the hiring criteria. However, Ya-young proposed she could divorce herself. Unable to find a suitable candidate, Noh Ki-joon hired the experienced insurance specialist. With that, the divorce insurance team was complete. Before they started, the team leader announced bad news. The company headquarters would send a vice president to join their team. The team members didn't think much of it until a short-haired, stern-looking woman appeared as the elevator doors opened. When the team leader called out John Na-rae, Noh Ki-joon immediately turned around. John Na-rae waved at him, seemingly enjoying the situation. The team leader sensed something unusual and asked if they knew each other. John Na-rae explained she was Noh Ki-joon's first ex-wife. Noh Ki-joon's 3 marriages were all unusual. Within 3 months of divorcing his first wife, she went from being an ordinary person to a corporate executive. Soon after divorcing his second wife, she chose to become a nun. Today, Jeon Na-rae chaired the first meeting of the divorce insurance team. She proposed developing a divorce prediction model based on big data to validate the feasibility of divorce insurance. They needed to collect relevant divorce data first. Kang Han-deol suggested finding a valid reason to justify the need for divorce insurance before collecting data to gain support from relevant departments. Noh Ki-joon supported Kang Han-deol's view, but Jeon Na-rae, displeased with Noh Ki-joon siding with Kang Han-deol, insisted on collecting data first. The team leader, worried about potential conflicts, tried to mediate. Jeon Na-rae quickly assigned data collection tasks, pairing Noh Ki-joon with Kang Han-deol and herself with An Jung-man, before hurriedly leaving. Noh Ki-joon took Kang Han-deol out to eat first, believing that a full stomach would give them the energy to work. During parking, he got into a dispute over a spot with a man driving a sports car. They decided to settle it with a game of rock, paper, scissors, and Noh Ki-joon won the small battle. The man left cursing, and Kang Han-deol thanked Noh Ki-joon as the man was her ex-husband, and Noh Ki-joon had inadvertently avenged her. Seeing Kang Han-deol upset, Noh Ki-joon tried various ways to cheer her up. After eating, Kang Han-deol suggested going to a courthouse or law firm to collect data, but Noh Ki-joon took her to a temple instead. Despite most couples not keeping in touch after divorce, he brought her there to find a legitimate reason to ensure divorce insurance would be covered. This was a prerequisite for the successful launch of their company's product. The temple's nun understood that divorcing couples face societal barriers. While society may not blame those who suffer, it often looks down on the divorced. The nun believed that divorce insurance could help people face external pressures. If someone courageously ignores societal judgment to pursue their true self through divorce, the insurance could provide them with hope for the future. Her words seemed to awaken Kang Han-deol, who had always played the victim in her marriage, but now learned to respect and value herself. Meanwhile, An Jung-man took the domineering female CEO to an internet cafe to gather data. This allowed them to enjoy the cafe's services while working in a relaxed environment. However, just 5 minutes into their work, An Jung-man was startled by snoring from next door. He incredulously moved closer to investigate, and Jeon Na-rae suddenly opened her eyes, appearing uncomfortable. She made an excuse to get some air and ran outside. An Jung-man followed her to ask about her marriage with Noh Ki-joon. He was surprised because, as Noh Ki-joon's childhood friend, he had only seen her briefly at the wedding and never in everyday life. Jeon Na-rae explained that she and Noh Ki-joon were never officially registered as married. They had a rushed wedding after only 3 months of dating and divorced soon after. Since their wedding, she hadn't seen any of Noh Ki-joon's friends or family. Their divorce was triggered merely by a few hurtful words. Words are sharp weapons. They can not only hurt others, but also destroy a marriage. And Jung-man, puzzled by their marriage, refrained from commenting as he was also struggling with his own divorce. Both found solace in complaining about the boredom of life together. Meanwhile, Noh Ki-joon and Kang Han-deol watched a meteor shower, reflecting on how fate might have them meet the wrong person at the wrong time. Yet, when past troubles turn to dust, the right person appears at the right time. Days together tightened the team's bond. However, they had to face reality. For their product to launch, it needed board approval. The team leader gave an impassioned speech in the boardroom, while the members sat on pins and needles. After the meeting, Jeon Na-rae informed them of the board's decision, revealing the challenge of passing the product assessment. They had to sell 30 valid policies within 3 days and maintain a 0 divorce rate over 6 months. Otherwise, the company would consider the product unprofitable. The team felt deflated, like a burst balloon. During this low moment, Noh Ki-joon had a sudden idea. He led the divorce insurance team to a wedding expo to pitch their product. On stage, he passionately told the soon-to-be married couples to prepare for divorce, explaining that their insurance could help them face reality and move forward. He stressed that divorce was more complex and painful than marriage or any illness. However, the attendees saw this as a bad omen and began throwing objects at them, eventually driving them off the stage. The team fled and hid, blaming Noh Ki-joon for the bad idea. Noh Ki-joon insisted the attendees were interested in divorce insurance, but too embarrassed to admit it. And Jung-man disagreed, and they started arguing like schoolchildren. Just then, a young woman approached them for insurance information. The team was shocked to discover she was the most vocally opposed at the event. She explained she was too embarrassed to ask questions in the crowd. Inspired by Noh Ki-joon's speech, she believed marriage might lead to unhappiness and wanted to insure herself against a potential divorce. Surprisingly, Noh Ki-joon did not support this view. He believed the true purpose of both marriage and divorce should be to pursue happiness. This woman became the group's first potential client and sparked enthusiasm among the team members to handle business more actively. This breakthrough led to more customers approaching. A mother wanted to insure her daughter before marriage to protect her from potential bad partners. When another mother planned to do the same for her son, the scene became incredibly awkward as the two mothers were in-laws.